Now, I saw this somewhere, this one. I know you might have seen it somewhere as well. This ladders of success. Now, if you look here, ladders of success, you can see there's a bigger gap of steps on the right side. It says it's less stable, of course. You may be able to trip and fall and get injured. You get lucky breaks, but you get a consistent habit, which is more effective. Do you know what I mean? So this, I'm speaking to the ones that want mainnet to happen now. So the ones that want mainnet to happen now, they're looking at on the right, less stable. It's less stable. It's lucky breaks here and there. So, you're not going to really get a lot of success from that. You may get a lucky break here and there, transient moves here and there, but realistically, success doesn't emanate from the right-hand side ladder, or the ladder on the right-hand side. Now, when you, on the other hand, you go to the left-hand side, what you're seeing is a very consistent step of ladder of steps, and what you can see is a more effective, more safe, and a more stable approach. So if I'm looking at, I know a lot of people say, yeah, but I need a less stable one because it's a risk. You need to take risk. Yeah, you need to take risk. What makes you think that you climbing the more effective ladder is not a risk? Every step you take is a risk. For all you know, one step is less stable than the other. However, if it's less stable and you fall, the injury is much less. But the one that's less stable, if it's more stable and you fall more effectively, you know that the injury is less because you will still drop on the next step below it, which will keep you going. The other one, when you drop, it may even continue till the end because the momentum, the force, the gravitational pull, the gravitational force that's gonna throw you from that step will take you down through all the other steps to the ground. And that's how people fall, because they rush. Do you understand what I'm saying? So before I speak about that, effectively, it has started. So let me just, how many minutes is this? 41 minutes. Yep. So effectively, the mainnet conversation has started, and it started with this ladders of success. Now I'm going to talk to you about it. I need you to understand certain things. Do you understand? All right. So a few days ago, I had a conversation on Telegram. Now, Telegram groups don't exist anymore. So if you want to really know where these conversations are going, you need to be on YouTube. Definitely, you need to be on YouTube. And of course, you also need to be on Twitter, because unless you're a member, if you're a member, then the members group is there. So those who are members, please join the members group. And if you're not a member, become a member and join the members group, because that's where everything is going to be lately. I want things to be effective. When you're investing in something, you're more serious. Anyway, so I got this conversation with my source. Obviously, you all know I've got sources, 2 of them at least. And one of them obviously had a conversation with me last week, someday. And I held a call with at the time with the on the Telegram group, and I told them about what was said then. So obviously I was thinking I wasn't going to talk about it on YouTube, but I thought, okay, I'll talk about it on YouTube live. That's much better, because if I talk about it on YouTube live, it makes it much easier for everybody to engage in the conversation. And so I'm going to talk about it. This may take a little while. So while we're here, guys, ensure that you pay attention. Just pay attention, all right? It is live, so don't tell me go straight to the point, because it's live, so I have to keep talking. That's where I have analogies and all of that. Do you understand what I'm saying? I got this phone call from my people. And the phone call was interesting because obviously I wasn't expecting anything. Because obviously the news I had was, such and such and such, right? And then they went on and said that there is not going to be any open mainnet in June. So I was like, so when is it going to be then? May? When is it going to be? May? If it's not going to be in June, is it going to be in May then? He said, no, it's not going to be in May either. So it's not going to be in May. It's not going to be in June. Now, the reason obviously is a lot. There is a lot of reasons why they can't. First of all, if you look at what's happening right now, we have so many things that we need to do. Honestly, that's what I've been told. And I believe that we have so many things we need to do. We need to build this utility. And trust me, don't get me wrong, I would want Open Mainnet to be sometime in June, July, August. I would want that personally. But the core team can't let it happen because now this is what I've been told. Don't say Ray said it. This is what I've been told. And I'm relaying the information to you. I'm just a messenger. So I'm relaying it. So stay here, stick with me, and let's continue. All right, let's continue. So they really, really, really want to I didn't realize that the show revolves around you. Be patient because Ray has the content to fulfill, not just people don't get that. If sometimes I even don't answer questions if you're not a member. So if you're a member and I answer your question, you're lucky. Do you know what I mean? You're lucky that I've answered your question. I only answer members' questions. So if you're not a member, it's gonna be hard for your questions to be answered. But I do answer everybody's questions. Do you know what I mean? I do answer everybody's questions. Don't worry, you're gonna get a timeline, but don't rush me. Don't rush me. You're gonna get a timeline very, very soon. It's happening. It's about to happen. And all of you are welcome to Raise United, just like Glenn said. And let's continue. So clearly, I'm going to remove the chats for now. I don't want to see it because it's distracting me. And then when I finish, I'll go back to the chats. So clearly, what the core team really want, which is what I also wanted, because that's what I was told a few months ago that it was going to be in June. But there was a slight delay because of the hackathons and the results of the hackathons and the Pi applications that are being built, the D apps, the decentralized apps. So there are a lot of things that are happening that we need to develop first. And the purpose of Pi needs to be served. If Pi was to be any other cryptocurrency, then it's easy. All we need to do is do a core DAO and go straight and give some some pies to make sure that people get their pie, and then obviously however much you've locked up, it wouldn't matter, and then you get to mainnet and it will be nothing special. But if we are able to develop our ecosystem and make it stronger and have a pie economy, trust me, we would rule the crypto world. We are onto something here. We're in the enclosed network. We're onto something. So if you're not a pioneer, you can't even access the Pi app. So they all have to be pioneers eventually. Do you know what I'm saying? So unless the firewall is taken down, but the firewall will not be taken down until we get to the open mainnet. Do you know what I'm saying? So personally, listen, I would tell you that what you have to do, and no, listen, the timeline is coming. Don't worry about that. What you have to do, the hashtag that we had before, what I do for Pi. What are you doing for Pi to help us speed up the process? When I say speed, I'm not saying speed it up like a sprinter. Keep going gradually, but much faster. Do you know what I mean? What are you doing to help that instead of nagging? Because your nagging is not going to push anything. You nagging is not going to force the core team to get us to open mainnet. But if you're doing something for Pi Network, whatever it is that you're doing, if you're doing that, trust me, you would speed up the process. So if Pi Network, for instance, if all of us did a little bit for Pi Network, by now we would have been in open mainnet. But we left everything to a select few or just a voluntary few to do everything. And because of that, there's an extension, quote and unquote. I wouldn't say extension because we were not given a date. So I wouldn't say there's been an extension. There is a date, or the date's being pushed back. Do you know what I'm saying? Because we need certain things to happen first. Now, that's not to say that you should go around selling your Pi for fiat, because eventually you will sell your Pi to an investigator from Pi core team. And if that happens, your account will be banned for 100 years. You understand? So the advice is, don't think that, because because you can just use your public key and nobody's going to notice. Maybe the person that you're going to get the fiat from is a core team member. I'm not saying it's going to be Nicholas. He doesn't have time for that. It's not going to be Change Our Fan, but it could be any of the other close to 30 Pi Core team members. And if it's one of them, you've lost your account just because you want quick bucks. Do you get what I'm saying? So when you come to Raise United, you're going to get facts, but you're going to get the truth. So the truth from me is, now let's go to the timeline. So obviously it is not going to be end of June. Something else will happen end of June, something big, but it's not as big as Open Mainnet, but something else will happen. I'll let you know down the line. However, something else will happen at the end of June. But right now, what the core team are saying is, now this one, if I tell you, I think some of you might like it. They're going to go on a rolling basis. So they don't have a date, but what they know is it's going to be after June 28th. So, but it's not going to be before September. So it's going to be after June 28th, but after September. However, what I was told is we should look out for it end of the year. That's what I was told. We should look out for it. The highest probability is end of the year. The lowest probability, it's not even a possibility, is June 28th. So don't look forward to it in June 28th. The middle possibility is between September and December. But the highest probability is December. You understand? Now, this is what I need to tell you. So as time goes on, I'll be giving you information on that. Remember, I'll be giving you information on that because I keep pestering my sources to ask them what it is. Not just that, there are other news that I can give you all the time as well. But obviously, a lot of people want Mainnet now. Remember the video I released, Open Mainnet now. Most pioneers want Open Mainnet now. They have their reasons, of course, but I would say let's look at this. Let's look at this. Because if you look at this analogy, I would go with the left ladder. If we're going with the ladders of success, I wouldn't want the lucky breaks. Lucky breaks, you may not have any lucky break until you die. But consistent habits are more effective because you know, even if you miss a step, you can still look back and say, okay, if I drop, I'll still, be okay. Do you know what I mean? The injury will be minimal. But if I don't do that and I go with the lucky break, when I drop, it's so hard that I will drop and hurt myself and probably will not recover from that ever again. It's less stable. Do you know what I mean? So, listen, I'm telling you this because I love y'all and I need y'all to get on that ladder. All right, get on that ladder. Smash that like button. Keep the super chats coming and let me read some comments.